Who comes to mind when you think of an artist? A drawer? A painter? A sculptor? For me, the word artist brings to mind someone who is all of these things and more, Francesca Talenti. For Francesca, creating art is the only natural way to move through life. Whenever she gets an idea in her head, she says, she needs to see it fully formed in front of her. She grew up in Italy and came to America at the age of 16. She attended undergraduate at Brown University, where she studied literature and composition. At Brown, she came to realize that her passion was not, in fact, literature or composition, but instead in art. After college, she attended the University of Southern California for film school. While Francesca learned about filmmaking in the classroom, it was the time she spent outside the classroom that continued to influence her current art style. Her boyfriend at the time was a student at Cal Arts, an avant-garde music conservatory that greatly juxtaposed the Hollywood-oriented formulaic curriculum Francesca experienced at USC. She also took part in acting improvisation classes, which taught her what it meant to be experimental and spontaneous. Upon graduating from USC, Francesca stayed in California for a few years before finding a job as a professor at UT Austin. She stayed in Texas for another few years, and in 2002, she began her professorship at UNC Chapel Hill. When Francesca received tenure at UNC, her art career was able to take off. She no longer felt that she had to prove anything to anyone, and thus allowed herself to be more innovative with her style. Since then, Francesca's work has won her over a dozen awards and has been shown everywhere from the Sundance Film Festival to the Guthrie. As impressive as her accolades are, Francesca is one of the most down-to-earth people you will ever meet. Her home is tucked away in its own quiet corner of Hillsborough. She has lived there since 2005, and it is where she now spends most of her time. After retiring from UNC in 2016, she has continued her career as a freelance artist, working in everything from theater installation to projection design to toy design. She drafts, draws, and designs in her home studio, often taking on multiple personal and professional projects at a time. One such project is a commission by the new music ensemble Earspace. Francesca was asked by the group to create a digital projection to accompany their live musical performances. In the drafting process, she drew what she heard as she listened to the group's music on yards and yards of white paper, which she later digitized into a final animated product. Another project Francesca is working on is a wooden 3D puzzle. She has been working on the puzzle for years and is now moving into the final stages of design and marketing. The puzzle pieces are designed to function not only as parts of a whole picture, but as individual building blocks for stacking and creating new works of art. Each piece is carefully laser cut in a makerspace at UNC Chapel Hill. A computer uses Francesca's vector designs and careful calculations to produce a whimsical tale of a girl and her cat as they journey to the cosmos. Yet another project Francesca is working on is a documentary about her grandmother, which is based on her grandmother's journals. Each day, she spends at least an hour translating journal entries from Italian to English. The project is not yet finished, but she hopes to eventually weave the different entries into a narrative of her grandmother's life. Amidst her busy schedule, Francesca still finds time every Wednesday evening for life drawing practice with her friends Jimmy, John, and Fred. For 2 hours, the friends take turns posing as the life drawing model in sessions lasting anywhere from 1 to 10 minutes. While the sessions themselves can be quite intense, in the intermittent breaks, Francesca makes plenty of room for catching up, joking around, and laughing. On Sundays, you can find Francesca at tango practice. In the whirlwind of shuffling feet and intricate footsteps, there is no mistaking her lively presence. Above all else, art remains the driving force behind everything Francesca does. Her career has taken her all across the country, from California to Texas to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, even as far as the hostile lands of Duke University. And through it all, she has been continually honing her craft. Over the years, she has perfected the art of painting laughter into any conversation, of finding beauty in the little things and not so little things, and of course, of living life colorfully and vibrantly to every extent.